Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Esports Simulation League, week number 10, here at Chicagoland Speedway. I am Mr. Technicality, and we have got a long 107 lap race ahead of us, and it is going to be a doozy. Starting on the pole is Frank Wade in that number 5 machine. Your points leader, Austin Knight, starting on his outside. Moxon is starting in third in that number 92 machine. And Brian Delp Jr. to his outside. Starting in fifth, your second place runner here in the point standings, Casper Hagelscar. Now, if Austin Knight can finish 12th in this race, and Casper does not finish ahead of him, that is going to do it, and Knight will be crowned champion. So that number 210 machine looking to stay in the top 10, as well as that number 18 machine looking to win this one. We're going to get ready to go green flag racing. Just a moment. There goes the pace car ducking down. Green flag is in the air, and we are racing esports simulation style here at Chicagoland. Points leader starting up front, having a good run for him. Now side by side through 1 and 2. Going to be a race we're watching most of the night between the 18 and the 210 machine. Bobby Leo Moxon pulls out front to be the early leader. But Casper Hagelscar is going to go down into 3 and 4, and he's going to take the early lead here at Chicagoland. You see that number 15 machine, Joey Schwint. He's a rookie here, racing with us, running P2. And Rusty Kamoli in that number 64 machine is going to dive it down to his inside going into 1 and 2. We have got a lot of racing side-by-side action here at the beginning of the race. Austin Knight is falling back outside the top 10, getting stuck on that high line as the train of cars keeps going around him. Not a great start for that number 210 machine. Look to see him move forward as the race goes on. But side-by-side action, you see Dustin Slider in that Barber Ford number 15 machine looking to make a move on the inside of Brian Delp Jr. coming out of turns number 2. And we're 3 wide. Zachary Taylor down on the apron. That number 24 machine. Three wide up at the front as Aiden Davis goes to the high side of Earl Andretti and Joey Schwint. Andretti's going to come out on top of that. And to the early lead, Casper Hagelscar pulling on the field in that clean air. Just what that number 18 machine needs. Earl Andretti running second. Joey Schwint in third in that number 15 machine. Zachary Taylor in that number 24 running fourth. Dustin Slider in that number 15 rounding out your top 5. Having a great run for that Barber Ford machine. You see Brian Delp Jr. and Dan Harrington racing for position behind them in 6th and 7th place. Russell Schumacher running 8th. Looks like Javier Vasquez running 9th. And Dougie Zoom in the number 33 machine rounding out your top 10 in that Twinkie powered Ford. Still lots of side-by-side action. Austin Knight still caught on the top side. Currently being shown 26th position. Now, if the race were to finish right now, there would be about 20 points separating Casper Hagelscar and Austin Knight, leading for our final race in Homestead. Doug Britton dives it hard into turn 3 into the center of Dylan Herberton and Jamie Dobbs. He's going to come out the victor in that one. Herberton's going to battle hard to the inside going into turn number 1. And give that spot to Dylan Herberton in the number 22 machine. So rough start for your points leader, Austin Knight, who continues to fall back a position now. Back up front, the rookie Joey Schwint looking to take the lead away from Casper Hagelskar, that number 18. That 50's got a good head of steam. He's going to look to the inside going into turn number 3. Zachary Taylor's going to stick his nose in there, looking to make it 3 wide. He's going to think better of it as they come out of turn number 4. He's going to look to the inside of Casper Hagelskar. The draft now starting to come into effect for these guys. 9 laps completed out of 107. And we've got some good side-by-side racing up front. Joey Schwint now takes the lead in that green number 50. Zachary Taylor running second. Casper Hagelskar third. See Earl Andretti in that number 69 machine trying to work his way up and catch these leaders. And Dan Harrington in tow in that number 82 machine. Basher Craven working on that number 33 car of Dougie Zoom. Basher being shown in 8th place now, working his way up. Leaders not seem to be pulling away as the draft now really in effect. But Casper Hagelskar is going to take the lead back from Joey Schwint, and Earl Andretti is going to follow him right by in that number 69 machine. Earl Andretti running 2nd place, trying to catch that number 18. He's going to close the gap through 3 and 4. Is he going to have the momentum to make a move going into turn number 1? Casper Hagelskar is going to lead that lap as Andretti closes in on the back bumper of the number 18. Joey Schwint in that number 50 trying to power back towards the front. He's got a strong Ford Mustang this afternoon as he looks to the inside of Earl Andretti. Going down the backstretch, he's going to have the position down low going through 3 and 4. Zachary Taylor, Russell Shoemaker right on his tail. But as the high line proceeds, Andretti's going to go, Taylor's going to go to the outside. Try to make that high side work through 1 and 2. But that dive into 1 that you get, Joey Schwint's going to hold on to P3. As Harrington and Taylor are going to battle it up for 4th and 5th. There's Basher Craven in that number 7 machine. He's got a head of steam with him today. He's got past that number 33 machine, Dougie Zoom. Now getting past Taylor on the inside in 3 and 4. Move Basher Craven up to 6th place. So he's going to try to use that high line through 1 and 2 to gain some advantage on that number 82. He's going to look down to the inside. Through 3 and 4 is not going to have the position to do anything. He's going to be still stuck in that 6th place position, but working hard on Harrington's bumper. Side-by-side action further back in the pack. See Wilhelm Layton in that blacked out number 99 machine. Just running all by himself in 8th place. Side-by-side action behind him. Dougie Zoom, Brian Delp Jr., Javier Vasquez is in there, Aiden Davis is in there. Looks like 3 wide racing between Davis Pratchard and Javier Vasquez. Berto de Moya getting in the mix in that number 96 machine. And David Dunwoody in that number 28, he won one race. He is currently running 33rd position, way in the back of the pack there, with a bunch of side-by-side racing around him. There you see Gunny, he is 10th place in the point standings right now. Running 21st position behind Dustin Slater in that number 15 machine. He was running up towards the front just a little while ago, and he got shuffled back. As we take a look at Austin Knight, still riding in the back, P33 at the moment. Now, if the race were to end at this moment, with Casper Hagelscar winning the race, there would be only a 10-point lead over Casper Hagelscar for Austin Knight going into Homestead. So Casper having the absolute best run he can have, and with Austin Knight not having a very good run at the beginning of this race, that 18 is feeling a little more hopeful for next week when we go to Homestead. Got a great lead out here in front of Earl Andretti. Starting to single file out a little bit. Dan Harrington running 3rd in that number 82 machine, having a great run for that Chevy Camaro. As he comes to duck down to the inside to look for P2 to the inside of Earl Andretti. 21 laps complete now. Harrington is going to move to that position, but wait, no, Andretti's going to battle hard on the outside. That number 69 is going to hold on to that position. Harrington going to fall back in line behind him. And with these guys battling, trying to battle side by side, that is going to give Casper Hagelscar more opportunity to pull away and run away with this race. Pit strategy, we are looking at 55 to 65 laps for the pit window. So we should be seeing some cars come down around lap 55. We'll see if we get a caution in there. That's going to cause pit strategy to change a little bit. There goes Harrington to the inside of Andretti one more time into 3 and 4. He's going to clear him this time, and he's going to bring Joey Schwinn along with him. And there's Basher Craven. You see him back there in 5th, having a very, very good run in that ESL powered Mustang. David Dunwoody looking to make some moves. He moves up into 5th place, while Basher Craven moves up into 4th. They're going to battle side by side. And Dan Harrington in that number 82 machine starting to pull away from Joey Schwinn, trying to close the gap on Casper Hagelscar, which is now 1.5 seconds. And still gaining. Joey Schwinn closing the gap on that number 82 machine. But David Dunwoody's got something to say. He's going to look to the outside of the rookie and see what he can do. Nothing going there, but Basher Craven, here he comes to the inside of David Dunwoody. Basher looking for 4th place. Looks like he's going to take that position away, and he's now going to look to the inside of Schwinn. He's going to bring Dunwoody along with him. Move Craven up to third. Now working on that number 82, Dan Harrington. Casper Hagelskar's now got a 2-second gap over the 82, just running away with this one. Fox Highwind in that number 57 machine, your fast mover so far of the race, up 15 positions from his starting spot, and working on the number 87 of Zachariah Buzzman Lawton. As we take a look at Aiden Davis and Rich Pratchard battling there for 15th and 16th place. Aiden Davis had a good run for himself, currently third place in the points, just far enough out to not be able to clinch that championship, but he still holding on to that third place spot over Basher Craven by 5 points. So the next battle you'll see with the points battle is going to be between the number 3 and the number 7 machine. Currently as it sits, the number 7 is going to take that spot away from Aiden Davis, running up towards the front of the pack. See Youngling battling with Dylan Herberton in the number 65 machine and the number 22 Ford. As we set our sights on our points leader one more time, Austin Knight just not having a great performance here at Chicagoland, running all the way in the back in 33rd position. Have to wonder if he might have gotten in the wall or something at the beginning of the race, or just what happened, but he started up outside pole and quickly fell to the back. Not sure if that's a strategy that he's trying to play for pit strategy or what he's got going on there, but he is just battling with Britton and Dobbs there in the back of the field, as Casper Hagelskar is absolutely running away from this. 32 laps now complete, 2.7 seconds over Dan Harrington in second place, and still gaining as we go. About halfway to our pits window, so if we don't get a caution soon, we should be seeing cars come to pit road around lap 55, lap 60. You see there, Dan Harrington was gaining on Casper Hagelstar, but sitting around 2.5 seconds the gap between first and second. Clean air really proving to be needed by Casper Hagelscar, as Harrington is battling with Schwint and Delp Jr. Brian Delp Jr. in that number 8 Chevrolet, working his way up into the top 5. You see Basher Craven back there in the number 7 battling with Joey Schwint now in that number 50 machine. He's going to get around him with no problem. He's going to set his sights on that number 8 car, now in the top 5. Basher Craven putting on a great show this afternoon, working his way up through the field. as he's working on that number 8 machine. Put him up to 4th now. Up 10 positions from his starting spot. And I believe we have a lapped car getting in the mix of things, as I see Dan Harrington looks to be running with another car that doesn't seem to be in the scoreboard. And yes, it is David Dunwoody, who is a couple laps down. Something happened with that number 28 machine, and he is now running in front of your 2nd place car. See if him running there is going to help the 82 at all. Catch Casper Hagel's car, guessing that it's slowing him down just a little bit, being stuck behind a lap car. Dunwoody not too far off the pace, but still 2 laps down. While we got a moment, 38 laps complete, we're going to let you crank it up and check out the sights and sounds of Chicagoland. As we come back, Basher Craven takes over the 2nd spot from Dan Harrington with the help of David Dunwoody. And he's going to see what he can do to catch Casper Hagel's car. But the gap a little over 3.5 seconds now. Casper Hagel's car and that number 18 machine just running away with this, putting a clinic on. Started in 5th, quickly took the lead on the first lap and has not looked back. Dan Harrington tried his heart out to get caught up. Now Basher Craven in the point. See if Basher can gain any ground on Hagel's car. No. Casper Hagel's car is going to gain on Basher Craven a half a second that lap. Now the gap to 4 seconds. This number 18 Chevrolet is very fast. As we look a little further back in the field, Austin Knight slowly working his way up positions, currently now being shown in 28th position. Having a really rough night as he is getting passed by the number 11 machine of Cody Bullock. That's going to put him down to 29th. They're going to battle side by side towards the back of the field. Your fast mover, Fox Highwind, breaks the top 5. 24 positions gained for that number 57 machine, and he is on a move. Next car in line is that number 33 of Dougie Zoom. See, Dan Harrington has dropped back to 7th position after running 2nd for about 35 laps. And Fox Highwind now taking the race to Dougie Zoom in that Twinkie powered Ford. He's going to take that spot, move him up to 4th. And we have got a battle on our hands with that number 57 Speed working his way up. He might have something for Casper Hagelscar and Basher Craven. So move him up to 3rd. Basher Craven still losing ground on Casper Hagelscar. Now 4.5 seconds the gap. And that 18 just keeps pulling further and further away. Riding along with Russell Shoemaker, running that number 127 machine in 5th position. Zachariah Buzzman Lawton, along with Fox Highwind, has worked his way up to 4th place, up 22 positions from his original starting spot in that number 87 machine, as he goes past Fox Highwind, who's getting stuck on the outside. Some issue between that number 57, and he is losing some speed. Momentum is broken and multiple cars getting by. Tires seem to be starting to wear away now as we get to lap number 50. Should be coming for some pit stops here in the next 15-20 laps. Ought to be interesting. Green flag pit stops, or are we going to get a caution with as much as these guys will jumble it up? 3 wide racing coming out of turn number 4. These guys starting to push their race cars. Fox Highwind jumps to the outside. Battling with Wilhelm Layton in that number 99 machine. And Rich Pratcher in that number 86 sticking his nose into things. And all this battle, and just let your leaders pull further and further away. Asher Craven now gaining a little bit of ground on Casper Hagelscar in the last few laps. Just over 4 seconds now, the gap between that number 7 and that number 18 machine. .53 laps now in the books. A little over 55 more laps to go. Sorry, make that 53 more laps to go. This is halfway this time by for the number 18 machine of Casper Hagelscar. We are getting awfully close to green flag pit stops. Only one car a lap down. That's going to be our number 28 machine of David Dunwoody, currently running 33rd in 2 laps down. And Basher Craven has lost all of his ground to Casper Hagelscar that he gained back. Now 4.6 seconds the gap. Sitting right around 4.5 seconds between those two. And what an amazing job for that number 18 machine. Come out here, start P5, knowing that he's got to finish up front and putting on a spectacular show for all of us as he completes lap number 55 there for you. It's just incredible what this number 18 machine is doing. Putting himself in position to win a championship and doing it spectacularly, as he has almost 5 seconds between him and Basher Craven. Anytime now, he's got 5 seconds over Basher Craven now, just constantly gaining more and more. Are we going to get any early takers to pit road? We'll have to see. Austin Knight in that 210 machine has worked his way up to 20th position now. Working his way a little further forward from the field. Wondering if he might have done that on purpose. He's got 3 top 3 finishes. Or 3, top 3 finishes so far. And he's looking to make it a little bit more ahead of this field, but currently being shown 21st position. See Fox Highwind to his outside was our fast mover. He's fallen back down to 21st now as Austin Knight looks to get around him. Rocco Stallone and Patrick Manning there in the picture, battling along with these guys. Wide action as we go into turn number 3. Everybody going all over the place. And Casper Hagelscar is in the pit road. Your leader is pitting on lap number 60. So that is going to be our first addition for pit stops. And we'll see how that number 18 fares on an early pit. We'll see if Basher Craven's going to come around this time by. That number 7 is going to stay out. Is this pit strategy going to pay for that number 18? 47 more laps to go now in this one. As you see Hagelscar coming out from his pit stop. He's done on pit road for the rest of the day. Everybody else still needs to come down. Having that 5-second lead really helped him with his green flag pit stop. As we get ready to see more and more cars come down pit road, Craven and Schumacher stay out. Aiden Davis, Rocco Stallone on pit road. Oh, no, they're not. Still out on the racetrack. Casper Hagelscar. Austin Knight down in 31st position now, wondering if he maybe hit pit road. But now your leader, Basher Craven, comes in that number 7 machine, coming to service of his crew. Russell Schumacher right behind him in that 127, going to take a pit stop with him. And Dougie Zoom is going to come take the lead. Casper Hagelscar is going to unlap himself. Looks like Austin Knight was another driver to come and take a pit stop. And most rest of your field's going to come down to pit road for service. We'll see after this cycle of pit stops who your leader will be. Most likely that number 18 of Casper Hagelskar. Gunny in that number 68 machine currently has the lead, with Young Ling right on his tail. And those two are both going to hit pit road. As he comes across the line, show Casper Hagelskar back to the lead. And we will see how much of a lead when this is all done and over. But I'm pretty sure it's going to go back to Russell Schumacher in 4th place. And he is 5 seconds back from Casper Hagelskar at this time. So that 5-second gap remains for Casper Hagelskar. 65 laps now complete, 42 more laps to go here at Chicagoland in the Esports Simulation League, week number 10. And it has been a spectacular race for us here. We'll do a quick through the field for you. Casper Hagelskar running in first place, putting on a show for everybody tonight. Led the most laps, led almost every single lap, actually. Russell Schumacher in that number 127 machine is going to be running second. 3.5 seconds behind Casper Hagelskar. We're going to have to keep a look on that. These guys got some fast tires, and they've got a little bit of a draft working with them. We'll see if that has to be a factor. Right behind Russell Schumacher is that number 7. He's been strong all night in the Esports Simulation League Ford Mustang. That's Basher Craven as he looks to the inside of Russell Schumacher. Running in 4th is the rookie, number 50, Joey Schwint. Joey Schwint having a great performance in that number 50 machine. Running in 5th is that number 87 machine, Zachariah Buzzman Lawton. Running in P5. Right behind him is going to be Dougie Zoom in that number 33 machine. And look who's right behind him in the number 210, running 8th place. Austin Knight has worked his way back up into the top 10. What a show, what a performance for that 210. Running in the back for half the race, now back into the top 10. With Aiden Davis in that number 3 on his bumper, running in 9th place. Rounding out your top 10 is the number 15 Barber Ford Mustang, Dustin Slider. Was running up front at the beginning of this race, fell back a little bit, now running in the top 10. And up towards the front, Casper Hagelskar's lead is slowly dwindling. Half a second back to Basher Craven and Russell Schumacher. The equalizer of tires has brought these guys back. Can the 18 hold Basher and Schumacher off? Craven has caught Casper Hagelskar. He's going to look down to his inside, going in down the back stretch into turn number 3. Diving it way down to the inside. Basher Craven, new leader, number 7. Him and Schumacher get right by Hagelskar. No problem there. Still looking to battle side by side between the two of them. But your new leader, lap number 72, the number 7, Basher Craven, taking the point from Casper Hagelscar. Russell Schumacher's going to go to the inside. He's going to take the lead. Casper Hagelscar is going to try to follow him to the inside, needing every position he can with Austin Knight running 9th. With Austin Knight inside the top 10, Casper Hagelscar has to finish in front of that 210 machine in order to keep his championship hopes alive. And now that we have got a little bit more single filed out, we're going to let you crank it up one more time and get them sights and sounds to Chicagoland. As we come back, we're taking a look at your championship points leader, Austin Knight, currently running 9th. It really turned his day around for him. He was running in the back and was not really expected to see towards the front after pit stops. Pitting a little earlier than everybody else, got himself some good track position and got himself back up into the top 10, which is exactly what he needed. Just kind of cruising behind these guys, just staying where he needs to. Gonna look to the inside of Zachariah Buzzman. That's another position gained for the number 210. Another point further closer to Hagelscar. Casper Hagelscar is going to retake the lead from Russell Schumacher, lap 78. Just what that 18 machine needs, clean air. And we'll see what he can do with it now that he got by the number 127 one more time. Can he gap a 5-second lead? We'll see. He is pulling away from that number 127 machine now. Austin Knight currently in 8th. Staying in the top 10, but Casper Hagelscar is the show of the field now. Starting to pull away from the 127 of Schumacher. Schumacher not letting him pull away too much as they start to pull on the number 7 of Basher Craven. $80 laps complete, 27 more laps to go here at Chicagoland, and things are starting to heat up. Buzzman looking to go to the inside of Austin Knight. He's going to take that 8th position back, send Austin down to 9th now. That 210 machine just riding right where he needs to be. Remember, he must finish in 12th place or above in order to seal his victory in the championship. But the factor is Kasper Hagelskar is in the lead and would need to finish behind him in order for him to seal the deal tonight. So either that 210 needs to catch Kasper and pass him, or we're going to be going and deciding a winner in Homestead next week. So this next 24 laps is going to be extremely important for these two drivers. Kasper Hagelskar now has a half a second lead over Russell Shoemaker. And that lead is just gaining. So now starting to gap second place once again is that number 18 machine. Russell Schumacher now a second back from Hagelskar, still working on second place here. Basher Craven in third, right behind him. Dougie Zoom, and that number 33 Twinkies powered Ford is having a great run for himself here at Chicagoland. We haven't seen him up front too much this season, but he is putting on a show here tonight. And I'm sure he's feeling great about that performance here. Running 4th place. And Joey Schwint, he's a rookie. Came up from the Mazda series after a win there. And doing a great job in P5 in that number 50 machine. Just an absolutely spectacular run for that rookie. See Aiden Davis in that number 3 machine. In number 6 spot. With Andretti looking to his inside as they go down the backstretch. Andretti running 7th, looking to make it 6th. He's going to take that spot away from Aiden Davis. Austin Knight and Zachariah Buzzman battling back and forth for that 8th and 9th position. See Buzzman dive back down to the inside, but Knight's going to have the momentum on the outside. Coming out of turn number 2, side by side down the back straightaway. Buzzman's going to take that spot. A little ways back to the number 11 machine, who is running in the back with Austin Knight back in 30th position, now in the top 10, coming under fire from Rich Pratchard. But you can see the gap back to 10th place, so Austin Knight has a little bit of room before he can lose himself another spot. So he's doing just fine running in P9. But we have just under 20 laps to go now. Tires starting to wear off. And Kasper Hagelskar is now pulling an impressive lead one more time over Russell Schumacher and Basher Craven. Basher Craven's going to look to the inside of Shoemaker and take over that P2. And they're going to battle side by side going down the backstretch, which is going to allow that 18 to pull further and further away. As Hagelskar comes out of turn number 4, 90 laps complete, 17 more laps to go. Austin Knight currently running in 9th place, just riding along behind Zachariah Buzzman. Just doing what he needs to. He's got 3 seconds back. 3.5 seconds back to 10th place, so he is doing just fine there. Not going anywhere. So he's going to try to battle once more with that number 87 machine. Coming out of turn number 4, they're going to be side by side across the line. Give the advantage to Austin Knight in the 210 machine. Now I'm getting a report here that Austin Knight needs to be 8 spots behind Casper Hagelscar. If he finishes within 8 spots behind Casper, he's going to seal the deal. And currently, he's racing 7 spots behind. So we will have to see how this plays out. But currently in the championship winning position for the number 210 machine, and he is catching cars and getting ready to pass a few, so we will have to see how this goes. I do not have a calculator to add up my math right now, but from what I'm hearing, reports are telling me that if he finishes within 8 spots behind Casper Hagelscar, he will be crowned your champion. But Casper Hagelscar still running away from this, putting on a show, doing everything he can to try to seal his deal to the championship. Just a little over 10 more laps to go here, as Austin Knight moves himself into 7th position. Austin Knight working his way past Aiden Davis, now in 5th position. Casper Hagelscar, 10 more to go. Coming to the line for 9 more to go. And Austin Knight has moved his way up into 5th position. Working his way on Andretti, who is running 4th. And while we got a minute, we'll give you a quick through the field, let you know where everybody's running. Casper Hagelscar, the class of the field tonight, leading 2.5 seconds over your 2nd place runner, the number 127, Russell Shoemaker. That 127 and the number 7 of Basher Craving been battling hard for second and third position. Erland's Reddy's currently running fourth in that number 69 machine, with Austin Knight hot to trot on his tail in that number 210 machine. Running fifth, Zachariah Buzzman in sixth place in that number 87 machine, having a great run for himself, battling with Austin Knight most of the night. Dougie Zoom running in seventh position in that number 33 Twinkie powered Ford, having a wonderful run for that team tonight. The rookie Joey Schwint in eighth place, that number 50 machine, with Aiden Davis to his outside now, running ninth. Running out your top 10 is that number 11 machine, Cody Bullock, who is running in the back with Austin Knight in 30th. Rich Pratchard is in 11th. Brian Delp Jr. 12th. Dylan Herviton in 13th. Dan Harrington, who is running up in second for a while, is running 14th. And Dustin Slider running out your top 15. Rusty Camoli, Javier Vasquez, Youngling, Berto de Moya, and Fox Highwind run out your top 20. And we are getting ready to go. 5 more laps to go here at Chicagoland. And Austin Knight working on Dougie Zoom. Take that back. Dougie Zoom working on Austin Knight, looking to get by that 210 machine. Not going to be able to do it through 3 and 4. Buzzman's going to look to his inside in 1 and 2, but he's not going to have the room to do it. Casper Hagelscar still out front. With only 4 more laps to go, that number 18 machine 3 seconds ahead of Russell Schumacher could be our first 2-time winner in the Esports Simulation League. Austin Knight, his points rival, still running in 5th place. Zachariah Buzzman right on his tail in 6th. Those two been battling it out for the last 40 laps. Side by side half the time, nose to tail, who's in front, who's behind, nobody knows what's going to be up next. But Austin Knight, what a show that he put on for the fans tonight. Started P2, fell back to the last place almost instantly within the first couple laps, stayed back there until pit stops, and now is running in the top 5 when it counts. What a show, what a performance for that number 210 machine. But as we want to talk about a show, we need to go to that number 18 machine. Casper Hagelscar going to be pulling it out of turn number 3 and 4. Coming across the stripe, white flag in the air, 1 more lap to go at Chicagoland. The class of the field today started P5. Took the lead and never looked back. Couple lead changes after a pit stop, but that was absolutely nothing. Casper Hagelscar comes back, passes the 2, pulls away from the 2, and as he's coming out of turn number 4, give it up, your first 2-time winner in the Esports Simulation League, Casper Hagelscar! Doing exactly what he needed in this race. He's going to take the W. Coming in second, the number 7, Basher Craven. Russell Schumacher 3rd. Erland Reddy coming home 4th. Austin Knight taking that 210 machine home in 5th place. Zachariah Buzzman Lawton coming home 6th. Joey Swint coming home 7th. Dougie Zoom coming home 8th. Aiden Davis 9th. Cody Bullock 10th. Brian Delp Jr. 11th, Rich Pratchard 12th, Dylan Herviton 13th, Rusty Camoli comes out 14th, and Dan Harrington coming home in 15th. Javier Vasquez, Berto de Moya, Fox Highwind, Wilhelm Layton, and Young Ling round out your top 20. Frank Wade, Dustin Slater, Gunny, Zachariah Taylor, and Rocco Stallone are going to round out your top 25. For everybody here at the Esports Simulation League, we want to thank you for coming out and joining us tonight. And we can't wait to see you for next week, Championship Night at Homestead.